Welcome to a journey into the dark side of ancient Egypt, a civilization famous for its remarkable achievements in architecture, art, and science. While its beauty and grandeur have captured our imagination for centuries, ancient Egypt also harbored many unsettling, grisly, and strange practices that are lesser known. So, join us as we explore the horrible histories of ancient Egypt. First, let's delve into the topic of ancient Egyptian punishments. The justice system in ancient Egypt was quite strict, and lawbreakers were often met with harsh penalties. Some of the more brutal punishments included impalement, branding, and even amputation. Particularly serious crimes, like tomb raiding, could result in the most severe consequence, death by impalement. Egyptians didn't just rely on brutal physical punishments. Public humiliation was also common. For lesser crimes, the accused could be publicly beaten, shaved, or made to walk through the city carrying a heavy sack as an act of penance. The ancient Egyptians believed that public shaming would discourage the offender from committing further transgressions while also serving as a powerful deterrent to others. In the realm of health and medicine, ancient Egyptian doctors had a variety of treatments and remedies at their disposal, some of which were downright strange. Many of these concoctions contained ingredients that might make modern people cringe, such as lizard blood, crushed insects, and even animal excrement. While some of these remedies may have had some medicinal properties, others were likely useless or even harmful. The process of mummification, perhaps one of the most iconic aspects of ancient Egyptian culture, was itself a gruesome undertaking. To prepare the body for its journey into the afterlife, internal organs were removed and the body cavity was filled with a mixture of spices and resin. The brain was extracted through the nose using a hooked instrument, and the body was then covered in natron salt for several weeks to remove all moisture. Finally, the body was wrapped in layers of linen bandages, sometimes with amulets and charms tucked in between the layers for protection. The ancient Egyptian concept of the afterlife was filled with terrors and challenges that the deceased had to overcome to reach eternal peace. The dead were believed to face various trials, such as traversing a lake of fire or confronting dangerous demons. To aid them in their journey, the Book of the Dead, a collection of spells and instructions, was often buried with the deceased. It provided guidance and protection, helping them navigate the treacherous path to the afterlife. Even the construction of the magnificent pyramids and temples came at a high cost. The laborers who built these awe-inspiring monuments were often conscripted workers who toiled under brutal conditions. Many suffered from malnutrition, injuries, and exposure to the elements. Workers who died during construction were often buried near the monuments they helped to build, their bones bearing testimony to the incredible human toll of these ancient wonders. Superstition and magic were deeply ingrained in ancient Egyptian society. People believed that spells, charms, and amulets could protect them from evil spirits and bring good fortune. In times of crisis, it wasn't uncommon for Egyptians to consult oracles or perform rituals to seek divine intervention. While some of these practices may seem irrational to us today, they were an integral part of the ancient Egyptians' worldview. The art of divination was also practiced extensively in ancient Egypt. Egyptians would interpret the behavior of animals, the patterns of smoke, or the appearance of dreams to predict the future or uncover hidden knowledge. This deep-rooted belief in the supernatural extended to every aspect of ancient Egyptian life, influencing their decision-making, relationships, and even their approach to warfare. In their daily lives, ancient Egyptians were no strangers to dealing with vermin and pests. One of the most infamous creatures that plagued the land was the blood-sucking, disease-carrying sandfly. These tiny insects inflicted painful bites and even transmitted a debilitating illness called leishmaniasis. Those afflicted could suffer from disfiguring skin ulcers and, in severe cases, organ damage. Despite their medical knowledge, the Egyptians had no effective treatment for this ancient scourge. In the realm of beauty and personal hygiene, the ancient Egyptians developed some unusual practices that might surprise modern sensibilities. To combat lice, a common problem in the hot and dusty climate, many Egyptians chose to shave their heads and wear wigs made of human or animal hair. It wasn't just the adults who adopted this practice. Children, too, often sported shaved heads, with a single lock of hair remaining as a distinct feature. Another unsavory aspect of ancient Egyptian culture was the widespread practice of sibling marriages among the ruling elite. Pharaohs and their sisters or half-sisters were often wed to maintain the purity of the royal bloodline. Although this custom may seem shocking to us today, the ancient Egyptians believed that it mirrored the divine union of the gods Osiris and Isis. Unfortunately, this practice could have dire consequences, such as genetic abnormalities and health issues in their offspring. Ancient Egyptian dentistry was a painful and often brutal affair. The Egyptians were known to have suffered from various dental problems due to their diet, which was high in carbohydrates and abrasive particles from the sand in their bread. Many experienced tooth decay, gum disease, and tooth loss. To alleviate the pain, ancient Egyptian dentists performed crude extractions and dental surgery without the benefit of anesthesia or modern tools. Finally, let's delve into the macabre world of ancient Egyptian curses. The fear of curses was a powerful deterrent against tomb raiders and other wrongdoers. Inscriptions on tombs and other sacred spaces often warned would-be intruders of terrible punishments, both in this life and the afterlife. Stories of these curses have persisted through the ages, with some even believing that the ill fortune that befell the discoverers of Tutankhamun's tomb in the 20th century was the result of an ancient curse. As we've seen, ancient Egypt was a civilization filled with contradictions, a place where awe-inspiring achievements coexisted with unsettling and bizarre customs. While the grandeur of ancient Egypt continues to captivate us, delving into its horrible histories gives us a more nuanced understanding of this enigmatic culture and the complex, often harsh realities that shaped it.